Spiritual teachers say you attract what you are. Corporate psychologists say it's just workplace dynamics. What if they're both right? If you keep meeting the same toxic coworker in different bodies, the underminer, the energy vampire, the one who makes you feel crazy, there's a reason. It's both energetic and neurological. In the next 7 minutes, I'm showing you the spiritual pattern, the brain science that proves it, and the 3-step practice you can use tomorrow. If you've been on the spiritual side of the internet, you've heard these concepts. Energy matching. You attract people who match your energetic frequency, karmic patterns, repeated relationships showing you unhealed wounds, and the mirror principle. Difficult people reflecting back what you need to heal. But when you're sitting across from Karen, who just threw you under the bus in a meeting, you attract what you are doesn't feel like wisdom. It feels like blame. Here's where neuroscience comes in. Not to replace the spiritual truth, but to show you exactly how it works in your brain. What spirituality calls energy matching, neuroscience calls neural pattern recognition. Your brain has a system called the reticular activating system that filters reality based on what you've told it is important. It's why you see blue cars everywhere after deciding to buy one. The same thing happens with people. Your brain seeks familiar patterns, even negative ones, because familiarity feels like safety. What spirituality calls your vibration, neuroscience calls your baseline nervous system state. When you're operating from unhealed patterns, people-pleasing, perfectionism, conflict avoidance, your brain literally filters for people and situations that match that state. You're not attracting toxic people because you're broken. You're attracting them because your nervous system is still broadcasting an old signal. What spirituality calls karmic lessons, psychology calls attachment templates. The relationships you had with your earliest caregivers created neural pathways that became your blueprint for how relationships work. You unconsciously recreate these dynamics as adults, trying to heal them. What karma calls unfinished business, psychology calls repetition compulsion. Same pattern, different lens. One more piece. Mirror neurons. You have specialized neurons that fire both when you perform an action and when you watch someone else perform it. If you're highly empathetic, your mirror neurons are hyperactive. You literally absorb the emotional states of people around you. Spirituality says difficult people are your mirrors. Neuroscience shows you the actual neurons doing the reflecting. Both are true. Both are happening in your workplace right now. So how does this show up in your workplace? Pattern number 1, the healer-wounded dynamic. Spiritually, you're an empath with healing energy, but you keep attracting energy vampires who drain you dry. Neurologically, you have a fawn trauma response. Your nervous system learned your worth comes from taking care of others. Saying no triggers intense anxiety. At work, you're always covering for the underperforming colleague, staying late to fix their mistakes, listening to their problems when you have your own deadline. Here's the truth. Your healing energy is real, but if you're depleted, you're not a healer, you're a target. Pattern number 2, the Peacekeeper-Aggressor. Dynamic, spiritually. You're avoiding your shadow. You've suppressed your authentic expression, especially anger and boundaries. You're keeping the peace at the cost of your soul. Neurologically, conflict avoidance is wired into your nervous system. Confrontation triggers a threat response. You suppress emotions, but they leak out as anxiety. At work, you attract passive-aggressive people who never say what they mean. You're constantly walking on eggshells, trying to manage everyone's emotions but your own. Here's the truth. What you don't express, you attract. Your suppressed anger finds you in someone else's outbursts. Which pattern feels most familiar? Drop a comment, 1 or 2. Here's what neither pure spirituality nor pure psychology wants to admit. You need both. Spiritual practice without neuroscience can leave you spinning in insight without change. Neuroscience without spirituality can change behavior, but leave your soul empty. Sacred and salaried gives you both. Step 1. Name the spiritual lesson and the neural pattern. Ask 2 questions. From the spiritual lens, What is this person here to teach me? From the neuroscience lens, what childhood pattern am I recreating? Write both. The spiritual lesson is the neural pattern. They're two languages describing the same truth. Step 2, clear your energy and regulate your nervous system. On the spiritual side, visualize cutting the energetic cord between you and them. Say internally, I release you, I reclaim my energy. On the neuroscience side, take 3 deep breaths, exhaling twice as long as you inhale. This activates your vagus nerve. Here's the bridge. Spiritual protection is nervous system regulation. When you clear your energy, you're literally changing your brain chemistry. Same practice, same result? Then pause before responding. Say, I need to think about that. I'll get back to you by the end of the day. Step 3, embody the new frequency and wire new pathways. Spiritual, be the energy you want to attract. Neuroscience. Neuroplasticity requires repetition. Practice the new behavior at least 10 times. If you're the healer, practice saying, that's not my responsibility 10 times. If you're the peacekeeper, practice expressing a boundary 10 times. Actually, I'd prefer this. No, that doesn't work for me. Your brain needs repetition to believe the new you. The universe needs consistency to send you different people. You're doing both at once. You're not crazy for believing in energy. Your brain literally works that way. You're not wrong for needing the science. It gives you power. That's what sacred and salaried is. Neuroscience-backed spirituality for women who refuse to choose between career success and soul alignment. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We're breaking down shadow work using brain science you can actually apply. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. But what you are can change. Your brain is wired for it. Your soul is ready for it. See you in the next one.